everyone, welcome to Kat's Creations live on Tuesday, where today, as promised, I'm going to show you a totally new design that I just got finished trying to figure out how we're going to make it. And so I wanted to share it with you. We're kind of focusing a little bit more right now on wreaths on a budget so that they have lower price points, so that you can see how great designs can still come together in the perfect marriage and still give you a great quality product. So if you like this design and want to save the tutorial, click the share button. It shares it to your Facebook page. That way you can find it whenever you need it. YouTube subscribers, is a little bit different for you. You're just going to want to make sure that you click the subscription bell in the upper right hand corner so that when I upload new videos, you'll get notification that, hey, a new video just arrived. So this is from a Facebook Live on Tuesday. Let me think about it. Is it right? No, Tuesday? Yes. Tuesday, January the 10th of the year 2023. So make sure you guys are liking and following my page. That way you should get notified whenever we go live. So what we did is we took our Friday night lives and we're moving it to Tuesday. That way you guys have something to watch during the week. And I can't wait for you to see this design and how amazing it looks. So I'm going to go ahead and pivot the camera down so that you can see what we're going to be working with. So let me know if I get it all there. I kind of have these little dots on my camera that kind of tell me where I need to go. Am I there? So do I want to fix that? Steve's going to help me. We always angle it the right way. I want to make sure my mat is smooth and correct. Okay. So you're seeing it as though you're standing across from me looking down. So we're going to be using the Dollar Tree heart frame. So these should be available in your Dollar Tree store now. We're doing a combined effort of a chenille chunky yarn, an 1.5-inch ribbon, and a 2.5-inch ribbon to make this entire design. So this one is going to be geared more for dog lovers, but you can mix it up. You can change the colors in any way, shape, or form in order to put your design together. So you just have to scroll down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove my tag from my sign, and then your chunky yarn, you're going to need 1 skein of chunky yarn. And I'm going with the really chunky yarn. There's some yarn that you have that is a lot thinner. You can use twine, you can use rope, you can use whatever you would like to go ahead and put just in this intersection right here. So we're just going to be focusing on the middle and the innermost ring while we put this design together. And so what you want to do when you start, instead of having that big ball of twine, because you're going to need to get it in between this space, is kind of just generally measure off for yourself, you know, a manageable length for putting your design together. And remember I said we're starting with the inner ring and we're only using the middle. So I'm going to use glue for this to get my design started. I'm going to start right here at the corner. And I'm just going to put a little dot of glue right here to hold my yarn in place. Give it just a few minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and start wrapping this design. Now everything looks great until you start to get into the curved spaces. Because the curved spaces, you have a tendency of getting pretty heavy here, and then you know what I'm saying, it's like you're kind of having a lot looser section, but then this starts to get really bulky and big, and I'm going to show you a way that we're going to fix that. So from here, just so that I can stay on my point, I'm just going to use a little dab of glue to keep my yarn right on the point. And then we're simply going to go up and around. And then what we're going to be doing is in the center. It's kind of like a weaving process. We're going to go around. So I'm going to throw the whole bunch in the middle. And we want to make sure that we keep that nice and snug So sometimes you have to kind of put in a couple pieces in order to get that section filled the way you like. So I'm going to go one more. Let me find my end up here. And then I am complete in that section. So you're just going to sit here. You'll see how fast this actually goes. In. The chunkier the yarn, the less yarn you'll probably, not so much the less yarn you'll use. It just creates a more plush look. And I'm just going to get up to this first section and show you what we're going to do when it comes to the curve. Okay. So back in, around. I'm going to go back up in here. So you can have your kids help with this, you know, get them started with the glue process. You can even tie it on to get that first piece or two started. So you see it goes really super quick. And this yarn I got at Michael's. You can find it at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Joann's. You can go with whatever color you'd like. So my color theme for this wreath is going to be white, tan, and black. Like suitable dog colors, right? Okay, I finished my first section here. And now what you're going to do in this section only, so just the curved section, so it's over here and not in the previous one, you're going to go up and around. So you're going to go over that rail, just the center rail. So all I did is cover the center, okay? And now I'm going to go back down. I'm going to come back up.
Does that just kind of help lock it down? And
it fills the space at the top so that you don't have those, you're not gaining bulk at the bottom, but you're also filling the top. So we're going to come back up here, and now we're going to go around just the center piece. So we're filling up this. So now when we go up and around, we put in one whole piece. Okay, so you always do one hole, and then you go around the ring once.
Gotcha, to help fill the curve.
To help fill the curve without adding bulk at the bottom.
And said Hobby Lobby actually has this week 30% off.
On yarn?
Yeah, she got it yesterday.
Nice.
Thank you, Ann.
So that's a great tip for us. So now we're going up.
Hi, Kathy.
And around. And now we're going to kind of go back up because we made it all the way through. So now we're going around, back down, and then up for one full piece. Now that we're here, we're going to go around the center, and then we're going to go back down, around. We're going to go, let's see. So that's my up. I have to go down one more. And then here's where we're going to do just around the top. And so you can see what's happening is I'm not adding bulk here, but I'm filling in all this area up here. Okay. If you didn't do going around, what would end up happening is as you're trying to fill this outside area, this area in here is so much smaller, you're going to add bulk to it. And then it's going to look weird because then you have like a bulk part here just on the bottom and a bulk part here rather than just having a continuous look all the way through. And then you're going to go ahead and finish that process exactly the same way that I'm showing you. Like I said, if you break it off into some manageable chunks, generally I think you only need like 2 whole sections. Like I could probably finish this, grab another short length of piece, and finish that up and I'm done. So let me show you what it looks like when it's complete, which is just like this. So I've taken the opportunity to kind of complete that one for you. So now we are finished with the inner part, which is the only place that you're going to use your chenille yarn. So now we're going to do another step, and this is where it's going to involve the ribbon. And we're going to be working from the back of the wreath. So just like this. You are going to take your 1.5-inch ribbon and you are going to cut it into 6-inch lengths. So I'm measuring out 6 inches. I'm going to go ahead and cut this right at 6 inches. Okay, and I just picked something that's for dog lovers, so it has bones both in the silhouette and then in the solids, and then little paw prints and little black and white hearts. And this is on Natural. This is from Craft Outlet. Matter of fact, all the ribbon is from Craft Outlet. And then from here, what you want to do to ensure that your top and your bottom dovetails are the same is you're going to lightly make your edges meet, and then you're going to fold it in half, and then you're going to get your scissors. I'm going to grab my sharper shears. And
say hello, Happy New Year. It's really nice to catch you live.
Oh, thanks.
Hope you had a lovely Christmas and New Year's, Jen from North Wales, UK.
Thank you for joining us from there. Okay, so we went, I'm not doing deep dovetails. You guys know I love the deep dovetails, but we're only dealing with 6 inches of ribbon, so I don't want to go too deep. When you're doing your dovetail, you're always cutting from your folded side to the wired edge. This way, when I open it, my dovetail lengths on the inside are exactly the same because I cut them exactly the same. Then from here, you're going to fold it in half, and you're going to need it to stay scrunched. So I was like, before the live, these are all the things I do before the live, is figure out how can I make it work. So I'm going to take a light bead of glue, and I'm just going to go along my folded line, just very lightly, so that when I take and scrunch my ribbon, that ribbon is going to stay scrunched at that midway point. And then I'm going to bend them together, just like this. Make sure your glue is on low. Do not do it on high, otherwise you'll burn yourself pretty good. So you kind of want to make what looks like a set of bunny ears. So just like that. Scrunch it at the halfway point, put a little bead of glue down, and then as you're grabbing and folding, it'll stay together. And then this way you've kind of assembled these little pieces. These pieces are going to be the next section on our wreath. And so we're going to be attaching these so that they look like this. They're actually going to go and get glued on the underside, but on the back, this one's going to kind of go right here at the corner. And we need to make sure that we're under the bar. So, and you don't want to go too far up. You just kind of want to go right on the edge so that, I'm going to try to do this so that you can see. When we flip it over, this is the look we're trying to achieve. Okay? So we're going to need 3 of these ribbon pieces for this bottom section. So we're going to go ahead and put those on now. So I am just going to take and add glue right here to my point. Remember I said it has to go under that bar. And then we're going to attach this to the chenille yarn. Okay. Not only does it help camouflage the outside ring, it's got some support for this to rest on top of that bar. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my next piece. This is going to go the same way. It's going to go up and under. I'm going to pull this up. I want to make sure that I'm covering. It's got to have a slight overlap so we don't have, coverage issues between the two. I'm going to go right here on the top of my tip. Up and under. I'm going to pull this up.
Hey everyone, guess that you can see a glue gun burn on our fingers.
That's why you put it on low. Okay, always on low. So we want to make sure that we're keeping everything, about the same length. we want to make sure that, you know, we're keeping our edges tight. And then, whoops, I'm going to go ahead and do this piece here. Having those pieces like pre-done just makes your work so much easier. And then I'm going to take and tack this one in the middle. And then just make sure we have good overlap. So one in the middle, two on the outside, and that will fill this bottom ring. So when I flip it over, this is what we have created. So we have our little port for our ribbon to kind of fan out. This is where, again, wired ribbon is going to come into play. Did you have a question?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to go through, and I'm actually, because I haven't done this part yet, I was like, this would make it so much easier if I had this already done. So I'm just going to take this, kind of figure out where I need that to go. I'm going to pull this back, kind of tag my piece. We're going to make sure it stays right on there. Again, it's covering the crossbar. Okay, we're going to put 4 pieces in this section. Okay, there's 2. I like to kind of position it first and then just tag it with my glue gun.
Hi, I'll just tune in. Kathy, yeah, that is chunky yarn. In fact, Anne up above just said she got it at 30% off at Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby's got 30% off their yarn.
Thank you, Rita. She's sprinkled. This is in the public group, so I'd appreciate if you like and share or sprinkle.
We're going to go up. Okay, so see how I got 4 pieces in this section. And then we're going to do 4 in the other side. So I've got all my pieces pre-cut, pre-done. So I'm just bringing them up, kind of figuring out where do I want it to go. Trying to keep them all in the same general place. Like, because you don't want some to be too high and some to be too low. Just kind of picture an imaginary line and then attach these in those places. So like right there is going to be perfect. Grab our next piece here.
Marianne asks, do all glue guns have a high and a low? Because I don't see it on mine.
No.
You have to make sure you have a dual temperature.
Yes. So you need to make sure if your glue gun does not have a way of, you know, being able to switch from high or low, you probably have purchased either a low temperature glue gun or a high temperature glue gun. You need one that, and the only reason I always say is get a dual temperatures, because a lot of us get impatient. So we want our glue to hurry up and melt so we can get to gluing. But we need it to be on a lower temperature so that we don't incur that god-awful glue burn,
right,
you know, that we're likely to get.
Margaret says, hello, Happy New Year. I have loved your tablecloth ideas. She's made so many.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hi, Wilhelmine.
So we're going to do this one here. So see how we've added that? I've kind of kept my spacing the same, and then where I'm gluing it onto my chenille is exactly the same. So we have 4 here, we have 4 here, we have 3 here. What is that, 14? And then we're going to add 5 in here, we're going to add 5 in here, and then 3 in here, which gives you a grand total of 24 pieces. So we're doing the exact same thing, up and around. Okay, we're tagging.
Yep, Kathy, the frame is the heart frame from Dollar Tree.
Yep. I just was like, oh, why don't, you know, sometimes we totally forget the simplicity of our designs. It's like, why don't we do pet wreaths for Valentine's Day? You know, we kind of stop at that point, and we're like, well, we make Valentine's Day wreaths for, Valentine's. And it's like, but there's some people whose pets, maybe their Valentine as well.
Hi, Maria. She said, hi, Ken Steve. I pray you've had a glorious day. Blessings. Thank you. You too.
Thank you so much.
Joanne said, hi, Ken Steve. Forgot you changed days, but I made it.
Yes. So I'm trying to remember to go in right around noon my time and give you like a quick update and say, hey, don't forget, we're going live on Tuesdays because we're not doing the whole Friday thing anymore. So we're going to go in here and see we have approximately space for one more. So this is a new design. So you guys are watching me put this together for my very first time. So it's either going to be a crash and burn or it'll be an adorable success. And then obviously if we have to make adjustments, maybe squeeze in one more additional ribbon, we can do that. I'm going to try to make this one fan out so it'll cover that space. Just like this. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. So just like this. Make sure we're covering that bar. Keeping our spacing where we're gluing it approximately the same length all the way. Because then it keeps your second row that you have going on with your ribbon. Oop, just flung that one.
Yeah, she's on Tuesdays instead of Fridays.
Yes, ma'am.
And for all of you just tuning in, you're looking at the wreath upside down. So that's why you see the ribbon upside down as well.
Right.
You'll see it once you did it finishes.
Once I flip it and turn it around. Well, technically, you guys are seeing it the right way. You're seeing it. I mean, the whole base is upside down.
Right.
So I'm gluing it from the back side. But they're seeing that design kind of right side up. So again, here, right in the center, just kind of laying a small dab of glue, kind of pushing that point right on the inside. Go get another piece, slide it up, do a slight overlap with the other.
Hi, Irvina, or from earlier.
Do you guys have any questions so far about the process? I find that if you just glue your ribbon in the little scrunch pattern, it just makes it easier for you to come in like I'm doing now and just add your pieces rather than doing it one at a time, gluing it, like trying to hold your scrunch. Gluing them already pre-scrunched just makes it so much easier.
My Duke said, do y'all have snow? No, we don't.
Nope, it's all melted. Okay, so we're in our last section. We need 3 in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my center section first. Should I do center? We can just make sure it's kind of going. I need to make sure it's going on this side. So I'm going to pull it up. We'll go ahead and tag it where I need it to be. And then go ahead and place this in its proper place. We'll grab our centerpiece, which is not a centerpiece, but just the piece that goes in the center of this section. That's going to kind of fit right in that little groove. I think it's important that, if we're doing the center at the bottom, we keep our center right at the top. And
Deborah gave a little emoji of beautiful love eyes.
Aww.
That's it.
And then we're going to do, I like that.
It. And then, hi Sue, said I just joined, can't wait to go back and watch the replay.
Nice. Well, hopefully, like I said, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, this design comes out good. Because this is just a totally new design for me. Just kind of playing with placement and kind of figuring out where everything needs to go. Okay, so let me show you what this looks like from the front side. So I'm just going to lift this up and I'm going to show you. This is what it all looks like from the front. And then of course, once they're all glued in place, then we can sit here and, you know, arrange them so that they are facing the direction that we want. So you can start, you know, just fanning your tails, you know, out and flat, nice and pretty. So we have that overlap here and our overlap there.
Wow, Kathy Richardson said it was 80 in Dallas today.
Wow. Okay, that's hot. Is that normal for this time of year for Texas? Okay, so
No, I don't think it is.
that's where we're at so far with the design. And so now we're going to add another layer of ribbon to this wreath. So this is our Valentine's Day dog lovers wreath is what we're making now. And so now we're going to flip this over because we're still going to work on it from the back. And now, even though this looks pretty and everything, it's very organized chaos. We need to kind of help cloak and shield that a bit. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take 2.5 inch black and white houndstooth ribbon. And what I've done is I've just dovetailed one section of my wreath. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that there's no apparent way that you can see the outside rail from the front. So what we're going to do is we are going to, I'm going to try to fold this up. Get those wired edges, okay? And what we're going to do is we are going to cover up to where we have our glued piece at. So we're going to kind of do this, and then we're going to glue this little flap down over our rail. So not only is it going to cover all these little individual pieces and help kind of create that stability, now we're going to cover up and over that rail piece. So I've got this one centered in the section. So I'm going to go and close the gap first, just right alongside that. This is where if you have silicone fingertips, you can use that to kind of help close that. And then I am going to tag the backs of these. And then I'm just going to push my little ribbon to the end. And then I'll flip this over and show you what it looks like. I just want to let this little piece dry so it doesn't stick to my board when I try to right side it back up. So let me show you. Oops. Now this is the look that this is going to give. It's going to extend all these out. So now we have a really nice houndstooth that is just going to ensure that we don't have like any available loops or that we have that the rail on the back.
Gotcha. Crystal just said you just answered a question. But this Gorilla Glue, Crystal, is meant for really hot or cold weather.
Yes.
So you should be good with this Gorilla Glue.
So I'm going to make sure that these kind of overlap a bit. I'm looking at where does that need to come up on my form. I'm going to bring this one as close to this as possible. We're going to have 5 in this section here. Okay. Bringing it over, making sure that I can still tag my bar right here. I'm going to scooch it over. Hit that lightly. And then we're going to do the same thing here. Make sure that we've tagged these areas on the back.
If you want to use extra glue, that's completely up to you.
It's like I said, this was, okay, what can I do to kind of make these look really cool? Like how they need to be. So in this one, we're going to kind of have to scrunch him just a little bit to get him to fit. So no problem there. We're just going to pull him up. Make sure he needs to be as high as possible to cover that flap.
Wilhelmine, I think both the 2.5 inch and the 1.5 inch are cut to 6 inches.
6 inches.
6 inches.
Yes. Sorry, I don't think I caught that. So right along here, we're going to tag this piece. And now we're covering the ends here. So I'm going to, right on that side of my houndstooth, right here, and then just on the side.
Yes, both are cut to 6 inches, Darla. Yep.
Yes.
Crystal said, on that note, I'm enjoying being in your private group and learning a lot. Awesome.
Thank you so much. Okay, now we should be able to kind of mow through this a little bit. Obviously on the straightaways, it goes a lot quicker than it does. I'm trying to keep the ends of my ribbon tails the same. So I'm trying to make sure that I get it up high enough to cover. And then you kind of need to position it in place. So I'm moving this over. So we're doing 5 at the top, 4 in the middle, just kind of like what we're doing with the 1.5 ribbon. So I'm going to bring this down a little bit so I can pull this back down. Okay. Going to make sure I hit my points that we're covering. And they don't have to be right next to each other on your ribbon tails. So like these pieces here don't have to, you can have gaps in them, just like you would if you were fanning them out like these. These have gaps. You don't have to have them end to end. Okay. This one looks like I'm only going to be able to get another 1/3 in here, but I need it.
Marilyn said, hi, Kat. Marilyn from Florida. Finally caught you live. Been watching your replays for months and loving your technique.
Thank you.
Also, Marilyn, we have a couple gals here from Florida, so maybe you can let us know what city you're in.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a gather here so that I can get another piece in right here. Otherwise, I'm going to have an issue trying to get that up and over. Let's see.
You thought I was cutting in the middle.
Yeah, I was going to do that too. That was my other thought. I can just splice it right down the middle. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go here and here on my rail. Tag those 2 points that I'm trying to cover.
Port St. Lucie. That's where the name is from.
Oh, nice.
Barb asked how many 1.5 pieces. I think you said 24, right?
Let me look. 24 1.5 pieces, and then you will need, don't quote me on this one just yet because we're kind of piecing this one together. I have 20 6-inch pieces of our houndstooth. So right now I'm going to kind of indent a bit right in here so I can get this piece to go in between and then up and over. So we might have less that we need. So see how that's going up and over. I need it still high enough to cover here. I'm going to bring it up and over, fold it, and I need it to be the same length as the rest. Okay, so let me do the one edge right here. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure this sits on my rail.
Maria said, I want to join your private group. I went in the last 2 weeks, but I wasn't sure which group. I don't know how to do Wreaths, but with your help, I can learn a lot more. I would appreciate some help, not a computer expert.
Oh, no worries.
I posted the link already.
Oh, yeah. So you're going to want to pick the private group, not the Wreath of the Month group. Because the private group is going to take you to those back to basics classes, which I think are going to be key to what you're looking for. And it's just a great refresher course to have because things are always changing. Technology is changing. What we do every day as designers change every day. So do you guys want to see what it kind of looks like from the front already? Let me show you. So see what we've done? We've kind of created this really nice little border that's going around and really showcasing that dog paw print ribbon. So that's going to be what filters all the way around on our wreath. So let's get to finishing. Okay, I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to finish our top. And then I'll tell you for sure how many pieces did we actually use. I'm always making sure to hit my border. And I want to make sure that we cover the top. So that might mean that you have to pull up a little bit more.
Maria said, looking great.
Thank you.
Maria said, thank you. Hi, Karen.
We're going up. We're tagging here. We've got our piece high enough, and see it's kind of hiding all of our cosmetic, what do you call it, the mechanics of what we've done. So we're kind of covering that as well. Okay, we're going to need to do a splice here as well because we've got that rail. So I'm going to kind of look, it looks like it kind of falls within about the 2. I'm going to take it down about 4 on my houndstooth ribbon. This is why those pieces had to be glued in place in order for us to do that. I'm trying to get this up and over so we can get this over and through. Okay, so up high enough. Hey, we're having rain. We're not supposed to get rain today. Yeah, it's raining. Poor Steve. He never hears the rain. Now he hears it. So right here, I'm going to tag.
Will we get a long rain?
It's so funny because the people who have been here for a very long time, even people who have migrated here like we did from California, they laugh at me when they're like, so what do you think of all the rain? And I'm like, oh, I'm loving the rain. And they're like, we'll ask you in about 3 years how you feel. And I'm like, it won't matter. I've lived in the desert in Southern California, not the whole desert environment, but we've lived where it's perpetually dry most of the time. So, sorry, I'm not gonna lose interest in that. Just in that time frame. I'm going to try to squish this one all in one. Do the same thing, up high enough that we cover. And then I just want to make sure right along that piece. We're going to tag the rail. And then we're going to tag what we're covering up. Just like so. Okay. Just moving right along. Making sure I put the
Hi, Peggy.
The ribbon the right way.
So cute. I want that. That's her logo. It says beautiful.
Aww. Okay, so again, I'm like trying to gauge approximately, I think it's about 2, like this one's like 4 squares. This one has a little bit more because I kind of went a little bit longer, but about 4 squares up is where I'm doing my fold. So here we have, I'm not really counting this one, 1, 2, 3, 4 is where it's kind of falling into place. So up, place a bead of glue along your rail. We're gonna fold that right on that edge, kind of going up, tagging. I'm kind of just putting a little bit of glue right on the one that I'm covering, and then I'm also tagging the other end here. So like if it overlaps another one of the houndstooth ribbon, I'm just tagging it with the glue to kind of keep it down. Here we go. Up and over. We're going to look for about 4, right? Because I think that's a good standard. Kind of figure out your pattern. I want to make sure that this is up high enough to cover my pieces, which it is. I'm going to go along here. Make sure this stays right on the side. And then we're going to do one right here. Here's my ribbon I'm covering, ribbon I'm covering.
Man, that's a good thing. She said we've had so much rain in Oakhurst, California, all the rivers are overflowing.
I know, right?
California needs the rain.
They desperately need it. They just probably didn't need it all at once. How to hold it. That's true. If California had devised a way of housing all their overflow of water, they probably would be fine when it came to what are we going to do with all this excess water? Okay, here's our 4. Folding on my 4. Sliding this into place right alongside this. I'm going to go ahead and lay in my bead. Make sure my ribbon hits the edge. And then we're going to tag here and tag there. And see, it's kind of cleaning up the back and making the back look really super nice. Okay. Now we're going to have to splice in. So I'm looking probably right in on the white. And I've taken about 4 down. So I'm going to bring this piece in. Then we're going to get this one up and under. I tried it a whole bunch of different ways, like would it have been easier if we did the houndstooth and then try to filter the other ribbon in? The answer to that question is no. Going just a little bit higher because I need to get that 4th row way up here. Okay, we're good here. Along here, get this edge right where it needs to go. We're going to pull this one up. And then we will tag the overlap, tag where we need it to cover, and right here on the end. Okay, we are almost finished. Let's try to get our 4. So it's a little high, so I'm going to pull this one back just a touch. Okay, along here.
Ruth said, I just came in, that's looking pretty. How many ribbons inside and outside?
I will tell you once I know. Since this is just kind of like one of those designs in the making, I thought it was going to take me about 20, but I think it's actually going to take me less. It's going to take you 24 ribbons to do your outside, the dog paw print. We had someone pull into our property. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and do this one. Out here in the country, you just would never know. Okay, 4 over. Right here. Which looks just to be about right. And then once we complete the 2.5 inch houndstooth, I'll be able to tell you exactly how many we used on here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Make sure we pull all this. We have another little splice piece. We're going to go up and through here. Take this one up and through. And then we will go. Do we have it up enough? I don't think so. I need to make my splice just a little bit more. Has to go just a little deeper to be consistent. Okay. Anytime you want to come on up. There we go. Okay, up and over. This one will be perfect. So I'm going to do this. Right there. And then I'm going to do this one. It's not leaving me an awful lot of space to get that last corner in. That's what I'm starting to notice. And I'm like, yeah, trying to get that into that last little space, which is why I haven't glued this yet. Because I'm going to go ahead and put my last piece in here. I'm going to go pull this in first, so that we can get that in. Let's see, how can we do this? I want to make sure we have enough at the bottom and enough at the top that'll meet those edges. Think we're good. Okay, so I'm going to do my little V right here so that we have the center of our ribbon V meeting right in the center. So this is what I mean. Here's my point. Here's the center of my V and my ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and tag these. And then we're going to do the same thing here, here, and here. So that now, oop, I needed those. Thank you. Just so I can get rid of that thread. Okay, so now look at what we've done for the back. The back looks amazing, right? We've kind of hidden our whole, how do we make all that work? Here's what it looks like on this side. Isn't that beautiful? Now this is where you can take your regular ribbon and you can start, you know, forming your little connections. Now we can't see anything that we've done. We've kind of hidden everything, but make sure that all your ribbon tails are flat. Sometimes they fold because we've been flipping it over a bunch of times. But look how amazing that makes that look. Totally finished, right?
Shannon said, I love this.
So I'm going to flip it so you guys can see it your way. Sorry. So now we're just going to add one small embellishment to this wreath. We're going to add a small bow. We're going to tack it to the top. We're going to use our houndstooth ribbon. And real quick, the number of pieces we used on this, I'm going to start here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Right? 17 pieces?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you could cut 18 just to make sure you have enough, but yeah, 17 pieces.
Yeah, absolutely.
24 pieces of the 1.5 inch, and you might have 1 or 2 pieces left over as well.
Yeah.
Depending upon how you spread it apart.
Well, I had to cut an extra piece because I couldn't find that one.
Oh, gotcha.
So now we're going to add a simple bow to this. So I'm going to use the houndstooth. I actually don't have much of this left. So
that's a very neat and tidy.
We're just going to do a very simple hand-tied bow, which means we're not doing it with a bow dabra. But I want to look and see kind of where do I want my tail to fall. Pretty much right about there, which is so that we can make sure our tail's the same on the other. It's about 6 inches. So I'm going to fold over. And I'm going to do a twist. We're going to fold over. I'm going to kind of eyeball it and see if my loops look the same. Do another twist. And then we're just going to pull this down 6 inches. I'm going to give it just a little bit more. Whoop. Anytime you want to work with me. There you go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and use the white pipe cleaner. So we're just going to do a simple twist. Okay, let me make sure that things look the same. Let's line this up. We've got a 5.5.
Hi Anna, she said good evening, Kat, Steve, and everyone. She said love the design.
We're going to give this one a little bit more.
Edie and Margaret said very pretty and beautiful.
So I've got one side of my bow about a 1/2 inch shorter than it needs to be. So I'm going to pull up in this tail, because this tail I left just a little bit longer. And I'm going to pull this one out just a little bit more. And now we should be right on the money when it comes to my bows. Yes. Okay, let me double check again. It never fails. Well, let me make sure. I probably flipped my bow over. No, we've got 4.5 on both sides, so we're good. And then let's get this trimmed up so they're both the same at the bottom. And we'll do a cute little dovetail on this bow. Wired edges together. Wire edges together. Okay. Super simple. And I don't like to see the pipe cleaner on this one, so we're going to do something a little bit different. Get rid of those. I have a piece that, remember I was telling you I needed a piece, like I had a piece that was left that I was trying to find to do the demo. So we're just going to kind of fold this over, fold it over.
Brooklyn, yeah, chunky yarn. You'll have to go back and watch the replay to see how Kat kind of folded the yarn over the inner two sections, because there's a trick around the curve.
Trying to make sure the little dog bone stays in the center. So just like that. So I'm going to go ahead just enough glue to fold this down. We'll trim this side up as well. And we're going to trim this aside. So now we have a cute little dog bone as the center for our bow. I open these up. Open that up. Let's remove our glue threads from here. And now what we're going to do is we're simply going to attach that bow right here in the corner. And because we have our pipe cleaner already on it, and this is just whatchamacallit, yarn going through here, I'm just going to attach my bow. Super easy. Just bring that down into the corner.
You could put the bow on the bottom if you wanted to, or anywhere else.
Yep, I think I want it over a little bit more in the corner. So I need to move it over.
Thank you, Madukes, for replying with the chunky yarn.
Mm-hmm. What about?
She answered some of his questions.
Oh, nice. Okay. Super quick little twist on. And then here is our Pet Lovers Valentine's Day wreath, which isn't just for Valentine's Day. You can use it all year round with our nice little doggy bone. So there you guys go. Super simple. So you can see it your way.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and put that up on the door.
See what that looks so pretty.
So I'm going to go ahead and pivot you guys up. So
I'll pivot up.
Oh, you're going to pivot?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to pivot away. Okay. This is what it looks like on your standard size door for the outside. And Steve's pivoting. We're waiting for it to catch up. but there you have it on your door. Exactly the way that I envisioned this design would go. Oops, wait a second, we're missing some of our tails here. What do you guys think?
And you'll go back, I think, and put a loop in it, right, for a hook?
Yes, I will go back in and add a pipe cleaner to this center right here through my yarn and do a little nice white one so that you can hang it. Right now I just have it sitting on my screw head for this. But you can do them in any color. You could do red and white. You can do black yarn. You can do beige yarn. It's entirely up to you. Another idea that I had for this wreath is that you could, like if you were, like my dad does this all the time. He keeps little mementos of his dogs. You could, because this is a chenille yarn, you could get a really small picture of your pet. You can add the picture of your pet to the chenille yarn and just kind of keep that as a really nice pet memorial of a pet that you, you know, kind of want to keep near and dear and close to your heart. So here's a new design for you guys. I hope you like this. This one is available for sale. It's budget friendly, so you'll find it on my website if you're interested. It'll probably be the only one that I make like this. So if you like this color combination for, you know, a dog, you can pick that up at my website. Steve's already pinned that to the bottom. And then this wreath, because it has the chenille yarn base, you're going to want to make sure that it is not left outside. You don't want to leave this outside in the rain. The yarn won't come back. So another good thing is that this is storm door friendly. It is less than 3 inches high from the tips of my bows all the way to where it hits the door. So this is perfect. Another storm door friendly wreath for people who are looking for those and don't want to sacrifice, you know, a great quality design trying to find something that fits inside their storm door. So we can do it for dogs. We can do it for cats. If you have a particular color, if you would like me to design one, email me at info@catscreationsandmore.com. Other than that, I will see you guys again in the public group. I believe it's Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific, which is, let me do the math, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. And you'll be getting a notification. We're moving Sundays to Thursdays now during the day because there's a lot of people who are off during the day. All right. Any other questions you guys have?
Love it. Super cute.
All right, everyone.
Stephanie said you could put a dog tag on it. Yep. Or
yeah, you could. Oh, that would be so cute. A nice little dog tag, or you can have their dog collar instead of a bow.
Yeah.
It's just really good, simple idea. Yeah, their favorite toy, their little teddy bear or whatever they had. So I'm sure I'll be making them and sending them to my dad as well. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for joining me. Have a spectacular night, and I'll see you guys on Thursday. Bye for now.